Imagine if everything around you, every person, object, sound, and sensation wasn't what it seemed. Not a solid reality, but a projection, a highly sophisticated illusion that responds to your beliefs, your emotions, even your thoughts. You wake up, brush your teeth, check your phone. But what if none of it is truly real in the way you've been taught? This isn't science fiction. It's a theory some of the world's most brilliant physicists and mystics quietly agree on. That the universe might not be an infinite expanse of matter, but rather a three-dimensional image, encoded on a two-dimensional surface, like a cosmic hologram. And here's the twist. Your consciousness might be the projector. Suddenly, you're not just a participant in this world. You might be its co-creator. This idea isn't new. Ancient spiritual traditions have whispered it for centuries. But now, quantum physics is catching up, with eerie parallels. And once you see the patterns, you can't unsee them. If you've ever felt that reality behaves strangely when you observe it, or that time occasionally bends in mysterious ways, you're not imagining things. Reality might be reacting to you. And if that's true, what does it mean for your life, your choices, your future? You might want to stay with this one, because the further we go, the thinner the veil becomes. In 1997, theoretical physicist Juan Maldacena published a radical idea that our universe might be a hologram. He wasn't a fringe thinker. He was working from string theory, math used by top physicists at the most elite institutions. The idea that the three-dimensional reality we experience could be a projection of information encoded on a flat, two-dimensional boundary, just like a hologram. And here's the unsettling part. The math worked. Other scientists began finding clues in black hole physics, quantum field theory, and even the mysterious double-slit experiment, where observing a particle changes its behavior, as if reality is aware of being watched. So what does this mean for you? It means your thoughts might carry more weight than you were ever told. It means memory, emotion, and focus might not just be private inner experiences, but tools that help shape the world around you. And maybe that explains why synchronicities happen, why sometimes you think of someone and they call, why a place you've never visited feels oddly familiar. Some researchers call this non-locality, the idea that everything is connected in ways we can't fully map. But others whisper something deeper, that what you call the outside world is actually happening inside something else entirely, inside consciousness. And if that's true, whose consciousness is it? Take a moment. Let that question settle. And if something inside you just stirred, you're not alone. Many are remembering what science is only beginning to rediscover. Keep watching. It's about to get stranger. You walk into a room you've never seen before, but somehow it feels familiar. A scent, a pattern, a flicker of light, and your mind whispers, "I've been here." Déjà vu, coincidence, intuition, words we use to dismiss what we can't explain. But what if these aren't glitches in the system? What if they're glimpses of how the system actually works? Physicist David Bohm once said that the universe is like a vast hologram, and every part contains the whole. Cut a piece of a hologram, and you still see the full image, just at lower resolution. Now imagine your consciousness is one of those fragments, and within you lies access to the entire universe, not metaphorically, literally. This could explain why sometimes you just know, why a dream shows you something that hasn't happened yet, why your attention seems to bend reality in ways no one can predict. Is it possible that memories aren't stored in your brain at all? That your mind is more like a receiver, tuning into a field that exists beyond space and time? If so, then what you call self might be a ripple, a frequency, moving through a cosmic sea of information, a sea that listens when you think, that responds when you feel, that rearranges when you decide. Have you ever had a moment where the world seemed to move in sync with you? A stranger finishing your sentence, a decision followed by a coincidence too perfect to ignore, a sensation that you're not creating your path, but remembering it. You're not imagining things. You're waking up to the pattern, and the pattern is watching you too. What if your dreams aren't random? What if they're the one time your consciousness detaches from the simulation, drifting freely through layers of the hologram? In sleep, your logical mind sleeps, but something else awakens. A navigator. You've likely had dreams so vivid they lingered for days. Places you've never been, people you've never met, yet felt deeply connected to. What if those weren't dreams at all? What if they were memories, accessed from another version of you? The ancient Egyptians believed that dreams were journeys through the duat, a dimension of encoded wisdom where the soul reconnected with its origin. Modern science may scoff, but even neuroscience admits we still don't know where consciousness resides. We search the brain for its source. But what if the brain is not the source, but the receiver? Like a radio, your mind might be tuned to this frequency of Earth, interpreting just a sliver of what's actually out there. Think about it. You've had moments of clarity you couldn't explain, ideas that came out of nowhere, a knowing that bypassed logic. If you've experienced that, you're not alone. Many are waking up to the idea that information isn't stored locally. It's stored in the hologram. And when your emotional state aligns, you access it. So the question isn't, what do you know? It's, what are you tuned to? And here's something to consider. The algorithm that controls your feed knows what captures your attention. But the universe might be doing the same. It watches where you focus, what you care about, what you fear, and it responds. Some would call this feedback loop the law of attraction. Others might say it's just how a hologram works. But if that's true, are you creating your life or projecting it from somewhere else? Think about it. And if something just clicked inside you, leave a trace. Even one sentence in the comments might open someone else's eyes. Why has the idea of a holographic universe been hidden in plain sight? Not because it lacks evidence, but because it challenges everything we've been taught to believe. For centuries, mystics whispered of an underlying blueprint. From the Vedic Akashic field to the Hermetic axiom, as above, so below, to Plato's realm of perfect forms. They all described a reality that isn't solid, but encoded in vibration, in frequency, in number. But then came the age of control. Systems were built, not to explore truth, but to contain it. Education became memorization. Science became reductionism. And anything that couldn't be measured was dismissed. Yet behind closed doors, secret societies studied sacred geometry. Powerful institutions encoded cosmic knowledge in symbols, and elite thinkers kept returning to one shocking idea, that we are living inside something, not on Earth, but within a simulation-like framework. Even today, tech giants fund research into simulation theory. Why? Because if the universe is a hologram, then there's a source code, and whoever understands it can alter it. Maybe that's why this topic makes some people uncomfortable, because if it's true, then you're not a victim of circumstance. You're a participant in something intelligent, intentional, and interactive. Think about it. When you shift your inner world, the outer world reacts. Maybe not instantly, but undeniably. If you felt that, if your life has ever mirrored your inner state in eerie, perfect ways, you've touched the edge of the hologram. And once you touch it, it begins to respond, quietly, curiously, precisely. Now the real question becomes, who or what is behind the projection? You've probably asked it silently. If this is a projection, who's running the projector? Some call it source, others the field. In ancient Egypt, it was Netjer. In India, Brahman. In science, the unified field. Different names, same mystery, a boundless intelligence, not outside of you, beneath you, around you, within you. And here's the twist. You might not be separate from it. Just as every pixel in a hologram contains the image of the whole, your consciousness might be a localized lens through which the universe observes itself. Which means your awareness isn't just yours, it's the universe waking up to itself through you. So when you imagine, when you focus, when you intend, you're not merely thinking, you're coding. Reality might not respond to your words, but to your vibration. That's why ancient languages, sacred chants, mantras, even breathwork, all aim to tune the self to a higher signal. Because when the frequency shifts, the hologram reconfigures. And here's something few talk about: symbols. Throughout history, certain shapes, spirals, and sigils seem to recur. They show up in ancient temples, crop circles, even corporate logos. Why? Because symbols bypass logic. They speak directly to the code. And if you learn the patterns, you begin to see them everywhere, in music, in movement, in thought. It's like learning the language behind reality. And once you start noticing it, you're never really the same. If anything in this resonates, even a sentence, don't keep it to yourself. What you reflect might trigger a memory in someone else. Because remembering isn't personal, it's collective. Have you ever tried forcing something to happen and it slipped away? Then, the moment you let go, it arrived effortlessly. What if that wasn't luck? What if that was code, responding to alignment? In quantum physics, the observer effect shows us that particles behave differently when watched, which suggests consciousness doesn't just perceive reality, it participates in it. But here's the thing nobody tells you. Your beliefs are the filters that shape what you can experience. They don't reflect truth, they write it. In a holographic universe, reality bends around perception. It matches your frequency, not your intentions. That's why positive thoughts alone don't change your world, but coherent emotion does. When your thoughts, feelings, and actions sync up, the field responds with precision. You've felt it before, a sudden insight in stillness, a gut instinct that saved you, a desire so pure it pulled opportunities out of nowhere. These moments aren't magic, they're access points, temporary windows where you vibrate in sync with the source code, and the hologram rearranges accordingly. And if this all sounds abstract, ask yourself, why do certain people always seem lucky? Why do some homes feel heavy while others feel alive? Why does your mood seem to affect your entire day? Because consciousness isn't passive, it's directive. You don't just walk through this world, you program it subtly, silently, constantly. And when you become aware of that, you stop reacting, You start creating. Leave a trace behind if this sparked something in you. One word might shift someone else's day, just like this moment may have shifted yours. If the universe is a projection, then what you experience isn't happening to you. It's happening through you. And that changes everything. Every obstacle becomes feedback. Every desire becomes a code. Every coincidence becomes a breadcrumb on a path you were born to walk. You begin to see that life isn't random. It's precise, responsive, intimate. The person you've become isn't the result of chance. It's a signal, broadcasting outward and echoing back as reality. So the real question isn't, what's real? It's, what am I creating unconsciously? Because the moment you realize reality is listening, you begin to speak more clearly, with emotion, with presence, with purpose. Maybe that's why ancient texts say, "In the beginning was the Word," not because of sound, but because of vibration. Your thoughts, your choices, your truth. They ripple outward into a field that never forgets. And somewhere in that field is your highest version, already waiting, already watching, already whispering, remember. If this idea has stirred something in you, something ancient, quiet, and familiar, you're not alone. Many are waking up, not to escape reality, but to finally shape it. And if this was your moment, let it be someone else's too. A comment, a share, even a silent pause to reflect might be the invitation they've been waiting for. Because sometimes, the most powerful thing you can do is remember what you already knew. Welcome back.